The Rams have now lost 3 in a row. They have lost 3 games in a row. And every single one of them were in convincing fashion. There is so much that is going wrong for the Rams that every time it's being confronted or questioned, it's always the same answer. Oh, we're being uncharacteristic. Oh, we're not executing. Oh, this, oh, that. We know. We know, and we see it. This is the 3rd game in a row where you guys literally did not show up in the game. The Rams, after coming off a much-needed bye week, go to Lambeau Field to take on the Packers and get absolutely manhandled. To which was, to an extent, kind of to be expected. The Rams were certainly the underdogs in this game, and it's pretty clear why. The Packers are a very, very solid team. They're going to win their division and might very possibly win the NFC. There is so much that the Rams just need to adjust on. First and foremost, we need to realize something, Ram fans, and this has been made very clear in the past few games. The Rams are alone, okay? That's just the reality. The Rams are alone. The refs are not going to help them. The NFL is not going to help them. The Rams are on their own. The refs somehow, every single time, miss many calls in favor of the Rams. I don't know how it happens. And not only that, but the Rams get called for stuff that 90% of the time doesn't even look accurate or even close. The Rams are on their own. That's just the reality. So, some of the things that needs to be fixed. First things first, man, do we suck. But there are a few positives, I guess. So let's go ahead and talk about the negatives. First things first, our special teams is terrible. That's just a given. The special teams is terrible. Making silly penalties almost every single game. They had an offsides when someone lined up in a neutral zone, giving Green Bay a first down on a 4th and 4 on a punt. And then not much later, a dropped kick turned over to the Packers, who ended up scoring. Take away those mistakes, this game's completely different. The defense. I don't know how, but my God, they are getting literally zero pressure. They're getting none. Hell, Greg Gaines has played better as of recently than Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, and Von Miller combined. Greg Gaines has been playing better than them. And while I understand that he's not getting double teamed the majority of the time, he's still doing his job. He's getting pressure, he's getting sacks, he's drawing penalties, he's doing what he needs to be doing. Aaron Donald, Leonard Floyd, and Von Miller are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. Meanwhile, the secondary literally can't stop anything. Something we've seen throughout the whole season with the Rams, playing extremely soft on the secondary. In coverage, in overall defense, and tackling. They literally can stop nothing. Meanwhile, the linebackers are stinking it up, especially Troy Reader. I am getting sick of him. Constantly blowing coverages, missing one out of every, literally missing one out of almost every tackle. He's missing everything. Open field tackles, he can't make them. Coverages, he can't get to it. He's just doing nothing. Then the offense. I'm going to give credit where credit's due. The Rams' offense looked better. than it has these last 2 games. But they can be so much better. The only reason the Rams stuck in this game is because of those 2 deep balls, the one to Van Jefferson and one to OBJ. Here's the reality, Ram fans. The Rams' offense relies on those big-time plays. And that cannot happen. They need to get back to what they were doing at the beginning of the season. These little chunks of plays, drowning out the clock, giving the defense time to rest. That Stafford, he hasn't looked comfortable recently. He hasn't. He's making a lot of mental errors. He's not hitting throws that he should be hitting. He threw another pick 6 today. That's the 3rd one. This is the 3rd game in a row he's thrown a pick 6. Something's going on. The O-line also is not exactly helping him out either. They're not giving him time. The receivers aren't getting open. So once again, a game with a lot of drop balls by the receivers. The Rams are in a bad place. The Rams have played 4 playoff teams this year. 4 teams that are almost guaranteed to go to the playoffs. They've played the Bucs, the Cardinals, the Titans, and now the Packers. They've won one of those. They've won one. And they won it against the worst out of those teams, the Bucs. They got humiliated by the Cardinals. They got absolutely humiliated at home against the Titans. And now they got humiliated again today against the Packers. Here's the reality, Ram Nation. The Rams are not winning this division. They're not. Okay? They're not. The Cardinals are too good, and they have too easy of a schedule to give up the division title. The Rams have a historically much tougher season left ahead of them than the Cardinals do. That's just the reality. Plus, the Cardinals were on a bye week, and the Rams lost. Literally, the only chance of the Rams winning at this point, the title, is if the Rams win out and the Cardinals lose 3. That's the only hope of the Rams having a division title. And it's not going to happen. I'm telling you straight up, it's not going to happen. Cardinals have way too easy of a schedule. They're not losing 3 games. You know, plus the Rams still have 3 very tough games coming up. They still have to play the Cardinals in Arizona. Then they have to go to Minnesota to play the Vikings, who I know are not the best team, but they are still a pretty damn decent team. Beating some tough teams, including the Packers. And you also have to go to Baltimore to take on the Ravens. Those are 3 very tough teams the Rams are going to have to play on the road. The Rams very possibly could end the season 10-7. They really could. They don't look good right now. They don't. The defense is horrendous. The offense is not clicking, and special teams is non-existent. And it doesn't help that the refs are like cushioning almost every team the Rams play. The Rams are in a bad place, ladies and gents. We really are going to have to see where they go with this. And if the Rams somehow make it to the playoffs at this point, I don't really see how they're going to be able to do much. Seeing the way they've played, especially against these teams that they're most likely going to be playing in the playoffs at these same fields, I don't really see how they even have a chance. This is going to be very interesting to see how they come back. You got a very interesting game coming up next week. The Rams are going to be taking on the Jaguars at home. The Jaguars, who right now are 2-9 on the season, but that still was not to be overlooked, knowing they have a very, very interesting win over the Buffalo Bills. They're not to be discounted. It is going to be interesting to see how the Rams handle this, because for the most part, the Rams have handled business when it comes to beating teams that are below 500. The only team that the Rams have lost to this season that's under 500 is the Niners. Besides that, the Rams have been perfect. It's really going to show. I'm saying it right now. Rams don't beat the Jaguars, they're not making the playoffs. So, that's my bet. Really appreciate you guys hanging by. Hopefully, the Rams get their heads out of their asses, and we'll have to see how the rest of the season turns out. Your house, our house, Rams house. See you guys later.